Can we know that we're close to the end of time? Well, there are some very accurate uh, predictions of future events. One of them made by Jesus when he's talking to the Jews and they ask him, "Hey, when is the end? When is the time of the kingdom?" Basically, I'm paraphrasing, and then he answers them in Matthew 24, verse 13 through 14, I believe. And a lot of the events Jesus describes are a lot of the things happening in this day and age. And and remember, he's talking to the Jews in that passage. And then knowing that those are the things that are happening today as we see it. I mean, all over the news, it doesn't matter what side of the fence you and I could be on, it's obvious. And so after verse 14, he goes into something called the prophecy in Daniel, and he's referring to a verse, Daniel chapter 9, verse 27, and where there's a peace treaty among the many, which I believe is talking about many nations, and then he puts, and in the middle of that peace treaty, he puts an end to offering, uh, grain offerings and sacrifice. And then who does grain offerings and sacrifice? Well, that would be the Old Testament version of the Jews. And Jesus is talking about events that are happening right now, about 2,000 years ago, even before he died. And then we're seeing those events, and then the next event after the events we see is going to be this abomination of desolation that's mentioned in Daniel, and it's the Jew ending the Jews sacrificing and grain offerings. That means the Jewish religion is going to be back in full swing. And if Jesus is mentioning all those things happening and we're waiting for that to happen, Jesus was true. Everything he said was true. He knew the future before it happened, and he told us 2,000 years ago. Jesus is coming back soon.